I stumbled upon this little item from Mark Frauenfelder, shared this on Boing Boing. Get your British accents ready, folks.
Oh, boy.
Because this is an article that was part of the Strand Magazine, released in the UK in 1897. This is still Victorian era. People are getting paid by the word. So I did pare it down because it would take forever to read it, but it was awesome. I'm going to give you the name of the author, and it's going to sound like I'm making this up. Framley Steelcroft.
All right, babes. Framley.
Framley.
Framies.
What if it's Framley, which sounds worse somehow?
Steelcroft.
Framley or Framley Steelcroft. I don't even know if this is a man or a woman, frankly, but anyway.
It's Framley.
Framley Steelcroft. Down in the East End of London, they do not take their pleasures sadly. Competitions of curious sorts occupy a very prominent place among these pleasures. By the way, the name of this article, Queer Competitions.
And that's why you wanted me here.
This is just
Rivers is like, I was successfully called out.
Read the pink can again.
So what do they mean by this?
So the central headquarters of these competitions is known as Wonderland, Whitechapel, and the presiding genius is Mr. J. Woolf. Woolf himself originates most of the contest, but occasionally he receives an idea from one of his patrons. The moment Mr. Woolf announces on his playbill a new competition, entries flow in, for the East End contains champions in every branch or pastime and trade, both conceivable and inconceivable. So basically, you've got a guy who's just been like, I'm doing my own Olympics, essentially.
This is the original Pain Olympics.
Yes. Yeah. And there's a lot of pain involved, as we're about to see.
Saying.
The prizes include cups, purses of silver,
useful,
and various articles ranging from a lady's blouse to a barrel of beer.
A blouse,
a fucking pittance is what you're.
You get 3 cups and a blouse, mate.
You get a wink and a smile.
Here you win this mug that says "Life's a beach."
If you could read this, the bitch fell off.
Here's a mug that says, "Don't talk to me till I've had my morning tea."
Right.
Keep everything.
It's a soda upon, mate.
It's a neon green hat that says Panama City 1998.
Don't talk to me till I've had my morning cuppa.
Right, it says panty
you're
inspector.
Nonsense people.
Official panty inspector, right? That's what it is.
Full-blooded Italian.
This is the 1800s and I have a MAGA hat. What the fuck is this?
He's season 3 of Love Island on DVD.
It says, make Whitechapel Ripper free again.
I have a hat on that says there.
We don't like him. So fair play is rigidly enforced in these competitions, and the official timekeeper, referee, judge, etc. are all absolutely impartial.
Good.
Trickery is only to be expected, though, and malice is not unknown. One competitor turned
general malfeasance.
And there are pictures of all this. I'll put this up in the Discord and on Twitter so people can see it. So basically, every one of these competitions has an accompanying like actual pictures. So this one was for a basket carrying contest where they stack baskets on their head. And it says one competitor turned up for the basket carrying race, feeling himself beaten in the last lap and burning with rage against a person in the audience who had taunted him. He let 11 baskets fall on his tormentor's head. Wow. So some guy's talking shit. He's like, fuck you. And just like threw down a shitload of baskets at him.
This is why I have security at sporting events now. Because stuff like this happened all the time.
This is, I love
the fucking Malice in the Palace.
I think some of these should be added.
Chalice.
Some of these should be added to LA 2028. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Basket carrying.
So,
and you win me wife's bra.
So it says, nor are the ladies forgotten. There's a baby carriage race between mothers.
Fuck yeah.
And now, when I first read that, I was like, obviously they're empty.
No.
Right, you've got to make sure that they don't cry too much.
You're joking. That is about to happen. So
You get penalised if they want to be breastfed.
So each mother bringing her own baby, and Mr. Wolf.
Oh, good.
Mr.
At
Wolf.
least it's there, baby.
Yeah.
And Mr. Wolf provides the baby carriage. So if you win this race, you win the
carriage.
baby carriage.
I picture like a soapbox derby, and you just put the baby in the soapbox car and then just
let it
push
go.
it down.
Man, I would watch that shit.
Like,
I'm
pushing it down like Lombard Street in San Francisco.
I'm picturing that
Some
one.
even flip like immediately.
I'm picturing that one shot in Dead Alive, Peter Jackson's Dead Alive, with like the baby carriage just like careening down a fucking hillside.
Or it's like OJ going off that thing and fucking Naked Gun like at the end where he fucking flies out of the chair.
So there are false starts and utterly irrelevant accusations bandied about amongst the ladies. And I did change some of this wording to make it less flowery, but this was in the article. The race is fairly fast and often furious. Shout out.
I just want to know what kind of accusations. There's like, oh, you made your baby more aerodynamic.
Yeah, probably.
I think she got his ears off.
I like
Too fast, too furious.
This baby is dead. It is ceased to be.
Too Fast, Often Furious would be a more like apt title for the film.
Often furious.
Yeah, because they're not always furious. They are often.
Often
though. Yeah.
furious.
I love this. Even the babies enter into the spirit of the thing and shriek.
Oh.
You mean they don't want to be there?
Oh my god, they're having a great. Yeah. Oh no.
And the baby's just screaming. They're having a great time.
That's a happy cry, mate.
Look at it. It appears he's got the spirit of competition flowing through him. Look at that.
Astute women try to cut corners, but only succeed in injuring both the bassinet and its innocent occupant. The losers have to be appeased with heavy refreshments. So they're like, oh, do you fucking break your baby in half?
Have a bite, then.
Here's some gin.
Yeah, have a bite.
I think heavy refreshments is alcohol, right? Isn't that
That's
what
got to
that
be
is?
what that means.
Whilst the winner claims the baby carriage.
Or is it cocaine? I mean, it could be cocaine also.
That's true. Yeah.
No,
That's.
it hadn't been invented
Opium.
yet. had it.
I think this is 1897.
1897, they're supposed to be coke.
We're like what 3 years out from Coca-Cola, so it was around.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It was medicinal at this point.
Oh yeah.
These are all medicinal cocaine at this point.
And you can get a
People
drugs at soda fountain.
Yeah, no, exactly.
People
at
always
the
like-
pharmacy.
Right, that's right. There was all like,
People like to associate Nazis in Germany. They should associate cocaine in Germany. A German invented cocaine.
Holy
and they don't
shit.
get the credit. They don't get the credit because the other stuff that happened.
And look what happened on cocaine.
Referring to the Holocaust as the other stuff is so funny.
You know that other thing?
That's crazy.
This is how American history will work in the
I
future.
love it.
You know that thing that happened? This other thing was bad too.
Another strange contest is the grinning through horse collars contest. So they've got these horse collars.
Like a Nine Inch Nails video.
And you literally walk up to them and then they judge your insane grinning. So
Probably you're like putting your face into
horse
it.
collars, meaning like the bar that is like in the fucking horse's mouth,
like the thing that they attach the bridle and the saddle to.
So I'm
that goes
guessing
around.
they push their face so forward, their muscles like go like out and make like
It
a
is-
weird.
I'm
like
imagining
it spreads
it
their
is
cheeks
like
on their
a
face. and they
bar
look
is in the middle
crazy.
of their mouth, like
You're talking about a bit. This is a collar. So this is like the shit they wrap around their necks to attach all the shit to.
okay,
It just
okay.
How
provides
do you
a.
judge that? I find that smile delightful.
They're impartial.
It's
He
a-
doesn't seem joyous at all.
I can tell he's faking it.
He's faking it.
They say half a dozen typical East End gentlemen are seen making frightful grimaces through as many horse collars. The judge, an artist in diabolical leers,
Diabolical leers.
guards against undue haste in awarding the prize, which is probably a silver watch. He calls
Hey.
for that's like not bad
pretty damn
for
good.
just like a basically like do Jim Carrey's face competition from what it sounds like. He calls for many demonstrations of the facial contortion, awarding marks to every round. Just before the final grin, the judge sums up, so to speak. He implores the men to brace themselves for the supreme efforts, and the gallant fellows certainly respond nobly to the call. So I think he's just having them be like, all right, do it again. Okay, new face. And then they just keep making
This is
weird
what we would go
faces.
back to if we didn't have phones.
This is what I always talk about, where it's like, you don't understand how nothing there was to do in the past. Like
Oh
this
man,
is.
it just sounds beautiful.
Well,
They were so happy
Delight
when
in all the dumb things. You're like, just who could smile the best? It's like,
Yeah,
it's like the home run derby for smiling.
you got to think this
Smiling
was
and drinking and throwing babies around.
This was legal cocaine era, you know.
and
Yeah,
morphine.
people just had ideas, and everyone was like, "Yeah,
A smiling contest? Yeah.
yeah.
For a silver watch.
You've had a conversation with someone on coke. They got tons of ideas.
Oh, yeah.
Well, for uproarious hilarity, give me the shaving contest.
Fuck yeah.
The subjects are inspected by a disinterested barber, which I know what they they mean. It's not their barber, but it's funnier to imagine someone be like, "I don't even give a shit about the shaving contest."
As they should feel.
Each shaver is allowed the service of his own lathering boy. The subject.
Ooh, how's that sound to you, Joe?
Right.
That's an important job.
That sounds statutory.
The lathering boys.
Oh, lathering boy.
The subjects are reclining, napkined, and smiling through layers of lather. Each competitor stands with the uplifted razor, quivering with excitement and awaiting the word of the command "go."
don't
Wait, I
that
thought they were
razor
disinterested
quivering.
a second ago.
I
Now
mean,
they're quivering with excitement.
It's who could shave you the fastest.
Fastest. I hate that.
I'd say slow and steady wins the race in that one.
So
So many people getting their throats cut accidentally.
The next line is so funny. The air is filled with strange cries from the subject as they are cut horribly.
I guess it's just speed. It's not quality.
This is the original production of Sweeney Todd.
Yes,
This is
straight up.
Wow.
They cry out in a language seemingly all their own.
Also, kind of jackass. It's just like
it is kind of jackass.
Yeah.
You're like,
My name's Framley Steelcroft, and welcome to Jackass.
I feel like I do this every
Jack
time
arse.
before, like I'm supposed to go see my
Jack
grandparents, and I forgot to shave until 2 seconds before I'm out the door. So I'm like, fucking have to shave real quick, and I cut myself 8 times.
It says one
That's me, Johnny Knoxville.
Right, it's Johnny Knoxville, isn't it?
I love this. It says it is not magnificent, but it is rather like a war. One subject can stand it no longer. He rises, gory and wrathful, and smites the artist allocated to him. So a guy literally just stands up like, "Ah, you motherfucker!" and he's just bleeding.
It's just a normal response. to
Yeah.
just having your face cut
Yeah,
off.
human, normal.
Looking like Harley Race after a fucking Strand.
My
match.
question:
Kill you.
do the shaved people get a prize, or is it just the barbers? What's the deal with the prize here?
You get to be on the stage.
You're getting paid an exposure. Come on.
the next event is just like leeches on your neck.
They're not going to give out free health care back then.
Who's the best at getting punched in the face?
It's England. It's always free health care.
Oh, that's true.
This is the weirdest one. But let us turn from a scene of such fervish excitement and consider the pastoral simplicity of the boys' syrup roll eating contest.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I could clean up.
In this, we see
Go on.
we see that a number of hollowed out pieces of French bread have been filled with syrup and suspended at regular intervals from a slack rope above the boys. They then have their hands tied behind their back, and the one that can eat the most rolls in a given time is hailed as the prize winner. So,
I would fucking wreck that. Are you
Without the use of your hands, though.
yeah, that's the thing.
Sounds hard.
think-
And
I
as soon as you bite into it, you're just going to get syrup all over your face.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think is the thing.
Classic.
Yeah. Bring out the lathering boys.
When is this festival premiering in Silver Lake? When?
Yeah, this does sound like a clown show.
It's the contest.
This is the Elysian. This is Saturday at the Elysian.
It says the contest is far from easy. Beside the horizontal swing of the bread on the line, there's also a vertical dancing movement caused by the slackness and the rope. Then again, when a piece is bitten off the roll, the thick viscous syrup comes pouring down the boys' upturned faces.
Good.
It's just-
Hot.
Yeah.
How has none of these things become like a tradition?
I know, right?
I bet
Right?
The world is dumb enough that this has to exist
Something
now
this
somewhere.
like somewhere in like Glockenschwell,
Yeah.
on Avon, like somewhere up in North Country.
Germany on Avon.
We're
Germany on Avon.
we're like 10,
Alabama upon Thames.
we're like 20 years out from the radius. This wasn't long for this world.
I feel feel like if this became a tradition after 3 years, they're probably like, why are we doing this still? It was funny the first time. Now we got people with scars all over their faces.
Who is the fattest boy?
Lathering boys.
Most syrup
They got
rolls.
PTSD.
My boy is the fattest. You have the most syrup
I'm
rolls
waiting
for
for you.
sure.
I say screw a comedy festival. I think we should start this festival
Yes.
and then take money for submission.
You're gonna so
and then we're like, we're putting on this grand festival of dumb.
Hell yeah.
I think there should be Kill Tony and eating festivals, eating competitions, and then like a row of fucking.
It's
comedians.
called Kill Tony with syrup.
Yeah, it's called Eat Tony.
eat Tony.
There we go. During the blindfolded wheelbarrow race, one quiet, resolute man, having first carefully surveyed the course before the blindfold was placed over his eyes, ran amok into the
research.
he ran amok into the audience
Oh God.
and expresses great surprise on learning that he has half killed an elderly female and a gigantic porter who just moments before was making the great building resound with a Homeric laughter. So he killed a funny fat man
Wait,
And a woman.
and a woman, an old woman too. But I mean,
Half killed.
Look,
Half killed.
look. I mean, he half killed. The
Maybe
woman.
half killed had a different definition back
Yeah, yeah.
then.
I think it just
Like
probably
half birthday.
like
You know what I mean?
knock
It's
the
like,
wind out of.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, we all thought she was dead. Like
I
she
really
fell
like-
and we all thought she was dead, but she wasn't.
I really
She
like
was half
I
killed.
like half killed.
Half killed's pretty fun. Yeah,
It's like after you do a tepid set, I have
half killed
I
it.
half killed. It's not a soft bomb anymore. It's a half kill.
Half kill. During the kicking the football through a hoop contest. I love these names.
Some things never change. Yeah, that one's a classic.
The hoop is held or suspended by a cord, and the winner is allowed to claim the football as his own. Many people, including girls and elderly women, enter the contest with the two frequent results.
Stand aside.
With the two frequent
just fall over.
the two frequent result that the ball leaves their foot at right angles. Even those jubilant onlookers who probably took up a position considered absolutely immune against accidents are struck full in the face.
So they don't even stand in a place where like, we got to be careful. The ball might come hit our faces.
They're saying like,
Or they're shanking it so hard. They're hitting the people on the
Right,
side.
they're like,
It
I'll
just seems
stand-
like the whole thing is a little slapdash.
it seems like you get hurt after every one of these. somehow.
Everyone's getting hurt.
I mean, that's
Everyone
the
there.
fun. That's the fun of it. It
Yeah.
seems like you either hurt a baby or an old person.
I like how they're just rolling out babies. Like it doesn't matter. I just want to win.
We got so many babies right now.
See, I don't think everyone's on drugs. I think everyone's drunk.
Yeah,
I think everyone's drunk at
yeah.
this,
Well, you can't drink the water. You have to drink gin.
yeah.
Yeah. Scalding hot suet dumplings are placed before a number of lads.
What?
Another fat boy eating contest. Brilliant.
But they make it a point to be like, these are hot ass dumplings. They're placed
These dumplings are thick.
my boy had.
These are fat, sexy dumplings. They're hot.
There's no.
So the dumplings are placed before a number of lads, and their hands are then tied behind their back.
Of course
What
they
is
are.
this weird shit?
They're
where it's
really
like,
into bondage.
They must tie the boys before they eat.
Yeah.
This is
I like,
crazy.
hands.
I like messy boys.
He's a filthy boy, isn't he?
Don't let him lick the.
Fat, messy pig boys.
My little fat pig boy.
And my little Augustus Gloops.
What a lovely day. What a lovely day.
if we don't
Lovely
let,
day for it.
if we don't let them touch the flaming hot Cheetos, they can't eat them off their fingers.
Right, he was cheating, wasn't he? He don't just use his face.
So,
My boy's the fattest.
so they got a bunch of like boys tied up, and they've put hot dumplings in front of them.
Present your hands. I'm to bind them.
The moment the signal is given, the young lads bend to their work. I watched the winner of the first heat tackling his second dumpling, while the others were blowing.
These are definitely the people that founded America.
I'm sure none of these kids had PTSD.
No, of course not.
Well, that's you say that. That is actually an excellent point. Is like, this is the median. The people who founded America were the people who were too fucking crazy for these people.
Wow.
That's true.
That's what
Throw
we're
a healthy
cut from.
dollop of religious crazy on this.
Yeah,
and,
hell yeah, the Puritans, man.
You're gonna. Let me ask: does this all end with kidnapping a police officer and putting him in a giant wicker man and burning it to the ground? Is this where this is all going? This is so fucking wicker man coded.
I see where this is going. 9/11.
Yeah.
That's where it all leads
Some
back
sort
to.
of 9/11. Yeah.
So the first kid, he's eating the first dumpling, he's going in for the second, while the others were blowing vigorously upon the steaming mass. He was not. He just
So hot, isn't it?
he just simply smote that scalding dumpling with his head. So literally he went wham and slammed his head into the dumpling.
His fat piggy head, he smashed into the dumpling.
That'll get the
he's a
heat out.
bar, isn't he?
That's a good move. It gets the heat out.
Yes.
Yeah.
It says it flattened across the plate, and then his task was easy, for after the first upward rush of steam into his face,
It's like
the
when they-
dumpling grew comparatively cool in a few seconds. So he just had to let steam burn his entire face,
Good.
and then he
By
wins.
slamming his face into a table.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's this competition version of dipping the bread in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Joey
This
Chestnut
is
shit.
the Kobayashi before his time.
Hell yeah.
Except you're bruising your forehead.
Release the heat, boy.
Our old friend, the Greasy Pole, is next on the list.
Yeah, definitely.
They still do
My,
that.
did
wait,
I
wait.
fucking write this? My old friend, the greasy pole.
Wait,
Down at the Pink Pony Club.
is it? Do we know if it's an ethnic reference or a
No.
greasy?
No, it's
Hey,
gonna be
and I-
absolutely just climbing a greasy pole.
Not like
Agreed.
Mr.
I would have
Mr.
said.
Waka-
I would
you
have
know.
said Greasy Polak. I'm Polish, folks. It's fine. But it's the one I can use.
Well, that explains a lot about Rivers.
That's right.
Polish, huh?
That
Hell
also
yeah.
explains the gratuitous
Okay.
use of that term.
Yeah. that's right. I intentionally mispronounce Kevin Pollock's name every time. Every goddamn time.
As he frequently comes up in
That's right.
conversation.
That's right.
Famous character actor
An
Kevin
impressionist
Pollack.
Kevin.
Hey, the amount of comics.
How many Kevin Pollacks does it take to screw in a light bulb?
2, 1 to screw it in and 1 to do a
Chris-
fabulous Chris Martin impression.
I was just about to say the amount of comics who do impressions of celebrities that are just repeating a Kevin Pollock
Oh,
impression
yeah.
through the
100%.
roof. Sometimes you
100%.
see a comic doing an impression, you're like, you're just doing Kevin Pollock, doing Christopher Walken.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so they got
That synergy felt good.
I
so
feel
We love you, Kevin.
fucking
We love
on
you, Kevin.
Cloud 9 right now.
it's that vibes. You're feeling
Yeah,
the vibes.
It's the vibes.
My 2 sips
So
of
that-
vibes are finally
your
kicking in.
20 milligrams of caffeine
That's
you
like
had.
the aftertaste. It's like
Yeah.
You know, it lingers.
It lingers.
Hey, Joe.
and then it gives you good
Yeah.
vibes.
Vibe check.
Kevin Pollock is vibes. It's gonna get me saying it is gonna get taken apart by AI. It's just really fucking
Vibing
City.
out to Kevin Pollack.
Yeah. So our old friend the Greasy Pole is next on the list. The successful competitor will receive a fine leg of mutton.
Oh.
Sailors from the docks frequently climb it with an alacrity that astonishes the beholders. The ordinary rank and file of the competition, however, strive in vain to reach even halfway up. I was told once of a morose man who, having at length won the leg of mutton, committed, with that curious but effective weapon, a violent assault upon the crowd who had jeered him during his awkward efforts.
So he started swinging a mutton
So
leg.
he won. He wins the mud leg, and then he's like, "This is for all my fucking haters and doubters and fake friends," and starts whacking people with it.
Incredible.
during all this.
That's
So yeah, they are
fucking
drunk as fuck. This is happening.
Fuck off.
During any of this, does the aristocracy like get led around and be like, "Good lord"?
This is my like if someone comes up to do the time machine, I'm like this is what I want to go to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't you want to make a difference in the world? No,
No, I
just wanna-
don't. I don't. I really don't want to be known in history. So no, I don't.
A very peculiar competition is called the Big Babies Race. It is simply a race between a man.
And fat baby.
Look at him waddle.
No, it's a man carrying another man in his arms, baby fashion.
I thought it was gonna be like a 3-legged race, but the just a baby attached to the
Strapped to.
and he's just dragging a person. He's just dragging a baby.
Hey, look, he's got it strapped to his hip like it's a Colt 45.
Who's the lucky so-and-so who gets to be held?
I meant on the leg, though.
It's the lathering boys.
Just baby tied to his leg with like a rope, and he's just dragging the baby.
Now,
Baby
tied
anchor.
fully,
Baby pull.
tied fully, or like just by the legs, so it's kind of just like being dragged and flopping through the grass,
I haven't. Yeah, probably
like a
probably
Cabbage Patch
yeah,
Kid.
Yeah,
like,
the same thing. Well, because half of the aim of this whole thing is to hurt babies.
yeah.
So
truly.
why wouldn't they just double
This
down
is where
on
you
that?
bring your unwanted children.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we got a few extra.
Go down to the orphanage.
That's how they got rid of orphans.
Bring the unwanted bastards to this glorious competition.
They go to that orphanage. They're like, you're gonna get out today.
field trip.
Well, it's Victorian London, so they let him out. They take one step onto the street and then just immediately sink into like 10 feet of horse shit and drown.
This could have been like a Oliver Twist sequel.
Oh, yeah, yeah. One wonders how the next contest originated.
See what happens after Dickens dies. The
Yeah.
whole world
Yeah,
descends
yeah,
into
yeah.
chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They learned nothing from A Christmas Story.
And they learn Carol.
Christmas story.
Christmas story.
Christmas story.
Shoot your eye out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a good one too.
But
though.
Dickens wrote it. so-
Yeah.
But Dickens did write a Christmas story.
Artful
Yeah.
Dodger, Scut Farkas. Come on, what's the diff? So one wonders how the next contest originated. It may be briefly described as an indiscriminate melee.
Yeah, fine. Fine.
I desperately want to see this. Combatants mounted on donkeys
Well,
are
at this point, tempers have been flared with all the babies hitting and fucking hot food eating. Everyone's
This
like
can't
pissed
all
off and
happen
drunk.
in one day, can it?
it seems like they reported on several events, it seems like, but it's sort of like this guy just whenever he gets an idea, he's like, contest Sunday, and then they just call for the games and they tell you
Okay,
what they're
so
going to
this
be.
was like every
so
frequent,
often.
like every few Sundays.
I
he
get
would-
the impression that Wolf here is kind of like a P.T. Barnum type guy. Where
Oh,
he's,
hell yeah.
You know, he's just jazzing people up, trying to get them excited for this thing. So everybody's on donkeys, and they are armed with wet mops. And
Bro.
Sounds like the battle mode in Mario Kart right now.
the contest is simple. The only man remaining on his donkey at the last is the victor and the prize winner. So
So it's just wet mop joust on donkeys.
you ride around
A Knight's
Wet
Tale.
mop.
with a wet
Wet
mop,
mop.
and you beat the shit out of other people on donkeys.
This kind of shit happens in front of this apartment complex all the time.
I know, except instead of donkeys, it's
Wow.
adults on power wheels.
On power
Yeah, on
wheels.
stolen children's bikes.
Yeah.
They,
Still
they do not.
jousting,
They
though.
do not sell. They just steal the children's bikes. Just have them around. Just because
Mommy,
it's
where's
fun to
my
steal
bike?
from children.
This is my shop truck. So
Dickensian Street Urchin Olympics.
I like that this family says there is no more popular contest than this. Each jouster brings his own donkey. So that's the barrier to entry. Is you have to have your own donkey, but this is by
So
far
it's
the
a
biggest thing.
rich man competition.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
one's the rich man competition.
Yeah,
Wow.
which is not unlike actual medieval jousting. Like that is such a rich man's game. That is
Yeah.
the crew rowing of the medieval ages. So you know you're a rich fuck if you jousted.
So the Winklevoss Street Urchin
Winklevoss, yeah.
England version.
Hell yeah. But the most impressive of all the queer competitions was the one billed as, and again, they have no knack for titles, 150 men pulling against an elephant for a barrel of beer contest.
No, I like that title.
Yeah, I like that title
I mean,
too.
Yeah.
It's just a lot for a sign, you know.
Elephant tug of war is too vague. You're
Yeah.
like,
That's-
is it two elephants? No.
No.
Yeah.
That's the title of a Fall Out Boy song. Like that's got
Yeah.
that. Or no, a Panic at the
sentence.
Disco song.
Yeah, it's a whole sentence.
Old
yeah.
school Panic at the Disco song.
Yeah.
150 men pulling against an elephant for a barrel of
Because
beer.
yeah, when you try to be too witty with it, people get confused.
It's like a
Yeah, it's
like
you said, the
not
tug of
all
war.
comedy shows should try to have a funny name.
Yeah.
It can just be a regular name sometimes, you know.
Some should just be like the show
Thanks, Sam.
behind the bar.
Thanks, Sam, on our constantly rotating name of a comedy show that attempts to be a joke every time. Thanks for saying that right to my fucking face.
Go check out Joe K's show, everyone.
Avatar.
Avatar 2. The competitors get their barrel of beer whether they win or lose. The task is to pull the huge animal back over the chalk line But it is yet to be seen how many men are actually required for this.
Is there a vomit break in between any of this stuff?
Wait. So
They have a vomitorium.
So they get the beer no matter what.
Yeah, so they're getting all these people
So all
fucked
they're
up.
doing is making an elephant enemy.
Yes.
Who remembers shit.
I
But-
assume that-
riling an enemy.
I-
You're riling an
I
elephant.
assume the elephant just wrecks them. You know,
Not, well,
100%.
not just them. One night, the men played a trick upon the elephant, which is like
Hey, boys, we're still
Smart,
drunk.
normal.
Let's go do something. We're drunk.
finding that they were losing to the beast. The men in the back gave the rope a few twists around one of the stout wooden beams that supports the building.
Oh my God.
Wonderful.
Suddenly, the great beam broke, and the huge elephant lurched forward and nearly fell. The roof came tumbling down on the audience, many of whom were half delirious with merriment at the turn things had taken. It was the most successful of all the queer competitions, but it didn't pay. So,
I mean,
like,
hell
as a
yeah,
joke-
that's the most successful one. There's an elephant involved. One
And-
two, they're destroying fucking houses or buildings.
literally are tearing down the house. Fucking amazing.
Well, that just sounds like Burning Man shit. It's like, well, we gotta leave it like we found it. So we gotta pull the fucking building down with our elephant. We gotta clean this up, guy. We have to respect the nature that we've been in for these last 4 days. We have to leave it as we found it.
You gotta just love the idea that they have an elephant around to do this.
Yeah.
This
Two-
is Burning
Two,
Man.
I think if you leave like a half fallen down building around,
Yeah.
great advertising.
Yeah.
You're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck happened to this building? Oh, there's this great contest. You got to come check it out.
This is big circus time. So the fact that they
Big Circus.
it is. I mean, shit, lady. I mean,
But they hadn't been bought by Big Circus yet.
It's like a bitter clown. Fucking Big Circus came in and took over everything. Used to be indie shows.
Bill
Yeah,
Clinton.
he used to be able to run with a baby in a carriage and scream. Now Big Circus came along.
Bill Clinton signed laughter, and that fucked up everything.
I forgot we have the shock jock.
I've got a rubber chicken, Joe.
What?
You know,
You're a psycho.
when someone
You're
gives you a
psycho.
rubber
Come on, he
chicken,
has a
you never
cutting board in
know.
his bed.
You
Of course
never
he's a psycho.
know. You never know.
Where else am I going to cut onions?
Callback. Now you have to keep it in.
So many vampires. Yeah, but yeah, that's 1897 London, and
Wait, what was it called? The
the queer
Games.
competitions
Queer
by
competitions.
Framley Steelcroft. Yeah,
Man,
fucking amazing.
I want to read the whole. I'm gonna find the whole thing on this because
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
I mean, I put in most of it. I mainly just like ended up having to look up words like treacle, which is what they called syrup.
Yeah.
and so I just
Like
swapped it.
trickle.
Yeah, but spelled
Trickle down
TREA.
Yeah,
economics.
and you know how like when we'll say something like a movie is so like it's treacly is what they'll say.
Yeah.
They'll
Do they
they'll
really say
describe it
that?
as like a
Yeah.
very treacly like
I've never heard
it was
that.
so like
never-
bad saccharine. No, like just
Because
like that
it's sweet.
kind of like
yeah, it's like sugary sweet. Like,
yeah.
Not
It's
like-
a bit of a treacly film, you know. They're gonna hit you over the head with it.
yeah,
It's a little cloying, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little
bit
on the
cloying.
nose.
yeah.
It's a bit saccharine.
Anyway, these motherfuckers are not scared of adverbs, believe me. So I was just like oh my god, just get to the fucking point. So, but
Trying to gussy up a fucking elephant.
Yeah, well, you were
drunk
saying they were
elephant
getting
fight.
paid by the word, so yeah,
right,
of
bingo.
course.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So.
I'd be making up competitions that never even happened. Writing all about them.
It's you in second grade with your book report going, this book was very, 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 very good.
You just
Got
know
the
you have
scarlet
to,
letter.
You just know the page has to be filled out.
Hester was very, 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 very,
Extremely.
very extremely.
There are
also-
26 letters in the alphabet.
Let us
Here
start
they are
there.
individually.
Here's 25 that the story wasn't about. B.
As chapter 14, also known as the end.
Oh my god!
Shout out to Victorian London, where we are.